Hello, mate. Welcome to the Football Terrace. Thank you for making your debut on the channel. How's things?
All good, man. All good. How's things with you?
Mate, can't complain. Can't complain. Let everyone know, first of all, where they can find you on social media. The great podcast that you're on.
Yeah, at Stoppage Time TV, at 360 TV as well, where you kind of post some stuff on there as well. But Stoppage Time TV is the podcast. Me, Cam, and Maze just sort of chop football up every week, kind of from our perspective, in a sense.
Yeah, I see a lot of the clips on Insta and stuff like that, and I've watched a few of the shows. Really, really good podcast, good insightful stuff.
I appreciate it, man.
Not a problem at all. In terms of Tottenham tonight, we'll talk about performance in a bit. I want to keep the Harry Kane thing for a moment. I love Harry Kane. I would have loved him. I would have loved him at Man United. I'm a United fan, just for full disclosure.
Yeah,
his goal scoring record for Tottenham is sickening. Why is it you think that he doesn't get the respect that other players who score at that level generate across football?
Pure and simply because he's at Spurs, to be honest. I mean, if you've got a goal scoring record like that and you're not winning silverware, at the end of the day, that's what the elite of the elite players are judged on, kind of what they win and what they contribute towards winning. For me, he is contributing to taking Tottenham to places they haven't been before, but I think he's going to need more to kind of win trophies at that club right now, because what he's got around him, for me, ain't enough to kind of push him over that edge. But for me, I think that's the key difference as to why people would kind of rate a Lewandowski or a Sergio Aguero higher than him. He's scoring kind of within their numbers, but it's the fact that they're winning silverware and you can kind of see the effect their goals are having on that silverware.
I hear that.
Yeah, and kind of at Spurs, people sometimes will think, oh, he's kind of just stat padding, where he's putting up numbers, but it's kind of just for the sake of putting up numbers almost.
Yeah, I hear that. Do you know what I don't like about that? Winning trophies is important, but I grew up in an era watching players like Matt Letizia play, as an example.
Yeah,
there's another player lower down the Premier League tier, but skillful, and I think he could have played for a big club. There's a guy called Darren Huckabee. Youngsters won't remember him.
Norwich.
Yeah, because these guys weren't winning trophies, but they were skillful and they were brilliant. And I just feel that, Harry Kane, and that's the only thing I would say, and it's never meant as salty towards Tottenham, but there's an element of, I'd be very disappointed in him if he retires at 33, 34, beats Shearer's record, beats Rooney's England record, but there's no trophy in the cabinet. It's almost
it's crazy. It's crazy. And when you think of it, like a player of his ability, who you look at it for club, for Premier League, Champions League, international, he's done it at every single level. And for me, he's now, I feel like, at a crossroad in his career where you can see he's picking up knocks every single year, and he's kind of starting to question himself, where am I going to have the longevity maybe to get to 34, 35 and see out this maybe one Premier League with Spurs, or is he kind of going to have to leave us over the next, because he said it was in a live with Jamie Redknapp a month or two ago, where he kind of might have to. And as a Spurs fan, in all honesty, I don't blame him. I feel like his ability deserves that little bit more. I think he deserves definitely to win some form of silverware by the end of his career. It'd be a shame for one of England's, I think, greatest strikers to retire with no Premier League medal or Champions League medal, or nothing show for it, but just a kind of a great goal scoring record.
Yeah, I agree. I look at it a bit like, you sometimes get a couple, they get together when they're really young, maybe teenagers, but they might get to their mid-late 20s, and then one of them is just like, I don't want to do the same stuff we were doing when we were 18, 19. I want to move on with my life. And it almost feels like Harry Kane's getting to that point where he needs to move on, because look, and the Jose decision is one, I think either he's going to pay massive dividends, or it's going to look like Daniel Levy's going to have egg on his face, because it's such a different direction to Poch. It was a gamble. And the problem for the great thing for Tottenham is you're going to be around for another 100, 200 years. So one or two isn't an issue. The players haven't got that luxury. They've got 12 years at the top maximum. And if it fades away with nothing, it's going to be tough. On tonight's game, you pick up the victory. Good result against West Ham. Yeah. What do you think is going to happen for the remainder of the season? Can you make the top four, or do you think that's dead now?
I think after the United game, for me, that was kind of the make or break game to kind of catch up those around you and kind of directly affect their results as well. I think it's kind of too far gone now. I don't believe that this defense is solid enough to kind of help us string 6 or 7 results in a row together, if that makes sense. And that's kind of what we need to do to catch up. My ideal scenario even would be that we don't qualify for Europa League. I don't want those extra round of fixtures next season. And I know some Spurs fans will say, oh, it's a trophy regardless, we should go for it. But for me, it's just, you kind of look at Arsenal over the last 2-3 years and kind of what it's done for them when they haven't won it. And it's I don't know if it's been a benefit for them. For me, I think that you look at any team over the last few years, whether it be Liverpool when they were going for the title, Chelsea when they won the title, Leicester when they won the title. And I'm not saying Spurs are going to win the title next season, but you see the difference that having that less extra fixture in the week, the difference it makes. And I think with us potentially not getting Europe, if we didn't get Europe next year, obviously in the market it's going to be different. So if we focused on getting an important 11 together, because I think we've got a few keys there. It's just defensively where we need to sort out.
Yeah.
I think that's where we need to address it in the summer. And if we can have kind of like we did under Poch for a certain period when we challenged for the title, we had like a solid 11, and outside of that, we didn't have much. We kind of need to get back to that next season, I feel like, and just focus on getting that first 11 right.
There we go, mate. Thank you very much for coming and having your say. We'll chat to you again soon, bro.
No worries, man.
Take care, mate. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. See ya.